Moving to New Zealand can be very challenging and expensive. I know when we were planning to make the move, it took us almost a whole year to save up enough money to make the big move. There were a lot of prior costs that went into paying for immigration, moving, flights, and all of those things. So in today's video, I'm here to tell you that you can actually get paid to move to New Zealand. And you're asking me how? Well, if you keep watching this video, you'll find out more about how I got paid 10,000 New Zealand dollars to move to New Zealand as a teacher.
I got it, that's what you got it. I got it, yes I do,
If you're seeing my face for the first time, hi, my name is Bradley, but I go by Zuri on social media platforms. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. As you can tell from the title, today we're going to be talking about how New Zealand actually pays teachers to come live and work in New Zealand. There are some good news for teachers around the world that want to come and teach in New Zealand. You can get a grant up to 10,000 New Zealand dollars to help you relocate to New Zealand and start your life afresh here. The condition is that you have to work for a government or a government integrated school. So that means a state or a state integrated school, because that's how they refer to things here. High school teachers, primary school teachers, and early learning childhood center teachers are also eligible for this grant. So we discovered this grant when we were applying to make our big move to New Zealand, which meant that the money that we spent on the move, we could get back. So there is no need for you to worry about coming here and struggling for a bit. You are gonna struggle for a bit, like for the first few months until you get the grant, but you don't have to worry about it because you'll get all that money back. So your money is not really going to waste because the country is actually helping you relocate here and making it easy for you financially. There are some things that we actually did in order to make sure that we got this grant, and that is saving all the receipts that we got, right? So if you are paying for your teacher registration, you make sure that you save that receipt for that. We did our medicals. Also save the receipt for that. You can save the receipt for your accreditation, for your qualification, that too. Your temporary accommodation. So if you're gonna find an Airbnb to live at here in New Zealand when you first arrive and you haven't found an actual place to live, then you can also save those receipts and send them to, in order for you to get all that money back. I'm gonna give you a list of things that the grant contributes towards so you can know officially what you need to be on the lookout for. The grant contributes towards your relocation. So whatever it is that you want to plan to bring from South Africa to here, they'll probably pay for that too, if you can prove that it is stuff that you need to start your new life here. Teacher registration, so your Teaching Council of New Zealand certificate and all of that whole process that I spoke about in my previous video, they'll pay for that too. All the costs of all of that, they'll pay for that too. Like I said, your temporary accommodation. For us, we got accommodation, like a place to rent, so we didn't really do Airbnb. But if you are planning to do Airbnb or stay somewhere where you're going to be paying rent, make sure that you show them the receipts of that, and then they'll pay for that. For us, we showed them, I think they pay up to either a month or so of rent that you paid and the deposit and all of those things. So if you can show them that you have to pay a deposit, you have to pay this, you have to pay that, they'll give you all that money back too. The flights, so our flights, Deval's flights, my flights, our son's, whatever it is that he paid for extra when we were flying over here, all of that too got covered by this grant. So we just sent them our flight tickets, how much everything costs and all of that, and then they paid all of that back too. Relocation costs for your immediate family. So that means your child, your husband, your wife, whoever it is that gets a job here in New Zealand first, and they want to bring the rest of the family members with. The costs for those family members move is also added here. The cost of my teacher registration and my qualification, this and my flights and all of those things was also added to our overall grant application, and then we got the money back for that. Here's the other thing though. If you are both teachers, both me and Devald are teachers, and if you get permanent employment, the both of you guys, you are both eligible to actually apply for the relocation grant. So you can both get up to 10,000 New Zealand dollars each if you can prove all the costs for everything. And then here's the other thing too. If you submit everything to the Ministry of Education for the grant and your money doesn't reach up to 10,000 New Zealand dollars, they'll send you an email back and ask you, is there anything else that you can think of that you want to add so that you can get the maximum amount and you can add more things? And they'll tell you, oh, this is eligible, or no, they can't take this. But yeah, if your costs of moving to New Zealand doesn't amount to that, try and find as many things to add into that so that you can get the full 10,000 dollars. Let's talk about the overseas relocation grant eligibility. So you must be registered with a teaching council, so you must have the certificate already in order for you to be eligible for this grant. Number 2, you must be starting your teaching role from the 1st of July to the 30th of June of each calendar year that the grant is available. You must have a full-time employment contract, which means it can't be a short-term contract like a first-term contract to be a substitute teacher of some sort or whatever. It needs to be a full contract from January to December, so like 12 months in order for you to get the grant. So if you get a temporary job, you are not eligible to apply for this grant. You need a full-time employment contract in order for you to apply, because you have to send them that contract too in order to prove that you can get this grant because you are a teacher and you got the job here in New Zealand. You must also apply for the grant within the first 90 days that you are in the country. After that, I don't think you are eligible to apply for it anymore. So the first 90 days is very, very crucial and important. So collect all your documents, all your receipts and everything, and submit it before it's too late. You must not have had a teaching role in New Zealand within the last 12 months. So if you've been here and you've already been teaching, you have to wait for a year for us to pass before you can reapply for the grant again. So let's say you were here, you taught, you left the country, you must wait for 12 months before you can reapply for the grant again. So if you leave New Zealand and you want to come back again, you want to teach here again, you must make sure that 12 months has passed between the time you left New Zealand and the time you come back and reapply for the grant again, which is really crazy to me because they can give you the grant twice. Insane. Or more than once, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they'll probably see in the system that you've already had it, they won't give it to you. I don't know how that works, but that's what it says. So now that you have everything and you want to submit it to the Ministry of Education, the waiting period for this is about 6 to 8 weeks before, like when they accept your application and they process it and then they tell you it's accepted. After that, you get the money immediately. You get the money in one big chunk and it's yours to go. So here's how to apply. There's an application form with instructions of what to do, how to do it, what to send, and all of that stuff on their website. I also recommend that you guys read up on all the information, read up on all the declarations, read up on all the privacy statements. Make sure that you have completed your evidence checklist before you submit anything. So make sure that everything is very thorough because you're working with the government. You don't want to lie. Please be truthful about what you're going to be sending through about your relocation in order for your application to get accepted. So what you need to do is obviously get the application form, download it, fill it in and scan it as a PDF, and you have to email it to the Ministry of Education. And if you are not sure about what you can include in terms of relocation costs, there is also a list that they provide there in order for you to see what you can and cannot include. So please make sure that you also read up on that too, because what we included in our relocation form may be a bit different from what you're going to include, because we did our process all the way from Japan and you might be doing it all the way from South Africa or any other country that you're watching this from. So when you're done filling in your application form, you're going to email everything. You're going to email your application form, you're going to email your signed contract as evidence, you're going to email all your tax invoices and receipts, and also you're going to email evidence of your bank account. So when you are in New Zealand, you have to make sure that the first thing that you do obviously is open a bank account. So that bank account is where you're going to receive all the money in. So I'm going to write down the email which you can send your application form to. It's over here on the screen. This is the email that you need to email everything to. After 4 to 6 weeks, you will be notified about the status of your application, whether there is something missing, whether there's something you can add, or whether you did your application right or not. And then when everything is approved, you can get your money within 2 to 4 weeks, which is then great. Then it makes moving to New Zealand not so hard. So yeah, if you want to move to New Zealand as a teacher, that's how you can do it. And the government actually has a little financial incentive for you to actually move to New Zealand, and it's not so hard. I know this was a very short video, but I will see you guys next week in my other video. For now, thank you guys for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.